And what the drivers say they fear most of all is a head-on collision with a blind tube mare.
Personally, I think the management should round him up. Get rid of him.
What's up, YouTube? Hello. So, Vin and Sori, this is part 2 for me. I reviewed their reaction to, what was it? 9 Inch Nails. That's right, yes. That was fun. It got quite a lot of views, so I'm going to do another one. Their videos are very long. I've sort of quite heavily edited this and added annotations. I don't want to keep stopping it and talking, because it's going to go on forever, this video, especially by my standards. I like to keep to about 10 minutes. So let's dive right in.
I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
Joy Division. Love will tear us apart. Anarchy 99.
Ooh boy, love will tear us apart. That's interesting.
Joy Division was actually
I've heard the name Joy Division before.
a terrible thing. It was a group of women that the Nazis would...
Comfort women.
Yeah, they were called the Joy Division.
Ooh.
That's an awesome name for a band, but good lord. Love will tear us apart. Is that the official video?
I don't know.
I hope it's not the official video, because that's the one that they wanted?
Yeah.
Click on the link. Let me see.
It is. This is the one.
Is that the official video?
I don't know, but it's Anarchy 99. That means Zonia's involved. I feel like Zonia would know.
Zonia would know what?
Not to send us something that would get blocked.
Yeah.
Blacked.
Alright, let's see. Love will tear us apart.
Yeah.
That's the
Just
official.
the preamble.
That's the official video
Yeah.
from the band Joy Division.
Yeah. Well, what do you want? What do you want to do? You want to not do that?
I mean, it might get blocked, but you know, let's roll the dice. Dear listener, just so you know,
I speeded
you'll
this
see
bit up,
other reaction channels. I'm pretty sure every other reaction channel
because it's
stops and cuts up the video. Like they'll interrupt the song.
that
And
interesting.
a lot of people don't realize why that happens. That happens the thingy like this, and it says we are taking any monetization you would have had
I hate
from,
the phrase
from
mansplaining, but
this song and giving it to the
if
record
ever
label
there
because they
was
put out a claim.
a,
It doesn't hurt your channel, but what it does do is it takes away your monetization. We
But if ever
figured
there was an
to
example
circumvent
of it,
that
this
problem
is
by
it.
paying the video from start to finish all the way through, and that's why we do Patreon, because Patreon so not only will you be demonetized,
Skip
they will
to the
literally
end.
block the video so other people can't see it. So for everybody in an alliance, try. If not, if it doesn't work out and we get a block notification, then having said that, Joy Division, Love will tear us apart. Just give me 1 second. Let me get the lyrics up, and then that's an interesting title, huh?
Yeah. I'm very curious to know where they're going to go with that.
I know. Let's go.
Ready?
Yep.
Go.
interesting reaction. love will tear us apart again. Love will tear us apart again.
Really sad. His voice was really deep. It sounded older than he was, didn't it?
Yeah.
Thought he did really well with that. I like the sound of his voice on that. The song itself was very sad, though. Do you think that it's like relationships themselves and like the way that things are in relationships, or do you think that he said, "You cry out in your sleep, all my failings exposed." So, do you think that he did something, and then, you know how it seems like it's kind of like a common theme is they kind of like cheat on when they were doing their band things, because then he says, then love will tear us apart again. Like maybe he's calling it love what he has with somebody else, or do you think it's just for instance, sometimes when we have an argument, I feel like it's because we love each other so much that we're unwilling to just let something go, because
it's like a bit of a
when you
cop-out.
let certain things go, you accept certain distances between your two hearts. But if you fight for the closeness of those things, it can end up. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know how. Do you understand what I'm saying? What I'm trying to communicate?
Yeah.
Like when you fight for certain closenesses, sometimes that fight kind of ends up tearing you apart. But
He's not
there's a lot of
realistic.
that you're trying to.
there's a lot of ways to interpret the phrase "love will tear us apart." The reason I don't necessarily go there is because he says when routine bites hard and ambitions are low, and resentments ride high, but emotions won't grow, and we're changing our ways. We're taking different roads.
Yep.
So then, whatever this means, love will tear us apart again.
It happens during.
This is one of
I
those
think her point was a
relationships
bit
where the thing is
more,
obviously over.
On the money, to be honest.
And he's just in a routine, and he doesn't really have any ambitions to win her heart. That's how I'm interpreting it. His ambition is low. It can't be low universally, because then he wouldn't be in a band. Obviously, if you're in a band, you've got some ambition, and they made it. So, and resentment rides high, and emotions won't grow. And then he says, our respect runs so dry. Remember, we had that the book, Love and Respect. That the woman needs love, the man needs respect, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So
I think they both need both.
he's got no ambition to chase her, and it looks like she doesn't really respect him so much. So that's the end of that. It could be another girl, or love will tear us apart. Might be about. It's an ironic term because love is supposed to bring people together. And so whatever's happening, whatever he's calling love is tearing them apart. So we're watching a show right now where this guy and his wife is out having these other pursuits with these guys, and then he's out with these girls, and they both kind of know, and they're still.
The Wire, is it?
They've kind of come to a mutual agreement and understanding, and they're just going with it.
It must be The Wire.
And it's kind of like, why are you guys still together? What is going on?
Why are you guys still together?
But even this relationship sounds worse than the TV relationship I'm describing, because it just they have nothing for each other, emotionally. It seems like they're just emotionally spent. The resentment rides high, but he doesn't have any emotions. He says emotion won't grow. Of course, resentment is an emotion. But I think what he's talking about is
preventing good emotions from growing.
Positive emotions, right?
Yeah.
So
we're changing our ways, taking different roads, and I think that that's what happens when you start, like, you're growing apart from each other. You're taking different roads.
Well, that's the biggest challenge in relationships is like, that I've seen is like the balance of being your own person, being your own self-contained unit, while simultaneously realizing that your life is now intertwined with somebody else.
Yeah.
And how not to lose your own identity while simultaneously not becoming so self-contained that there's no room for the other person. And that's a hell of a balance. That's like the first 10 years of marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like is finding that, you know, and even biblically, like God gave Adam some time by himself, you know.
Did he?
And Eve quickly found out that Adam was not, you know, gonna be her knight in shining armor when there was a situation. So
Clearly.
and you see clearly afterwards that Eve.
That's what I was thinking of.
She develops her own relationship with God away from Adam.
Yep.
Because it doesn't seem that Adam shares her spirituality or all the rest of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So it's, you know, I think about it with us because we spent so much time together, like abnormal time, because we work together, like
Abnormal.
we live together, we work together. There's no time when like I'm out or you're out. Like if I'm going to the store, you're most likely going to the store, and vice versa. And so it's like I'm not, but I like it.
Me too.
And you like it. And I don't really see us
like
changing.
it.
You know, in 5 years. Although I need time to myself, and I think you need time to yourself from time to time too. But you know, inshallah, we get a house where we're not all on top of each other, and, and you know, we'll be able to have. I'm very much looking forward to that. But I think it's a really, really hard balance, and it's just it's a sad. Because the thing is that I feel like. See, this didn't happen in my previous relationship.
Don't go there.
Like, it wasn't one of those things where the just emotions were just deadened and there was no.
The emotions were deadened.
It was just so volatile all the time. It was almost the opposite was the issue. Was that things were just so volatile and you didn't know what to expect, and you know, things were just so crazy, and a lot of it was just like the exhaustion of like having to prepare yourself for another horrible traumatic situation to happen for, you know, X plus years. So I didn't really, like, we're never really able to get into a routine because things were so chaotic. You know what I mean? Like,
it's funny that he's laughing,
you know, toward
about
the
it
end
as
with
if
me
he
and her, there
enjoyed
was a
it.
ton of resentment on both sides. Which I like to look into my side of myself, and I think, as far as I go, I think most of the resentment is gone. Maybe I'm deceiving myself. It's very possible, but I was never in one of these situations where like we just got stuck in routine and then the thing just died off and then we just took disparate paths. You know, like it wasn't like that. It was just go, move. Changing. You know, like. Yeah, that's pretty terrible. But what are you thinking? You got like a funny look right
it's
now.
weird because, you know, I feel like, you know, I've been thinking a lot about the way that I am and the way that I function as a person. We've talked a lot about how if something's not my ideal, I will make it my ideal because I want to have my ideal.
Right.
So when I look at this and it says
Very
when
talented that way.
routine bites hard and ambitions are low, you know,
You're very talented
that
that
happened,
way.
but I wouldn't allow myself
Weird
to
comment.
acknowledge that. You know what I mean? I was like, no, your ambitions are not low. I'm definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like I did feel bored by certain things and routines kind of started getting to me, and I felt, you know, I've always kind of been like that. Like I've told you, when I was a kid, I used to hope that my parents would get divorced, which was crazy. I mean, now that I see what the poor kids have had to go through with, you know, with us having to go through divorces, that wouldn't have been fun for me. But I wanted them to get divorced because everything was just so normal and everything was so routine. Yeah, and I realized
Now
my mom
she's
wasn't going to
going
have
there.
any more kids. So I thought, but if she remarries, then I'll have more kids on mom's side and more kids on dad's side. Like, I'll have more siblings. Like, so I just thought, and
How old were you?
I don't know, anywhere from probably 8 to 12, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
You know, I just realized stuff because I remember always kind
Trying
of
to
hoping
change
that my
the
mom was
subject
going to have
again,
another baby.
isn't it?
And then I remember asking her, "Are you ever going to have another baby?" And she said no, that there was absolutely no way she was going to have another baby. That was something that they had decided it was never going to happen. And I was like, ah. Like when I realized that was super, super disappointing to me. I wanted a little baby brother, a baby sister.
Your solution was they get divorced so that you could have
some action.
and
I've told you that. Like, there's probably some, I don't know, some
They
medical
both want
wacky
chaos.
thing that's wrong with me because I also I remember being in the car on multiple occasions thinking, I hope there's a funeral that pops off soon. Because the funerals were more interesting than just regular life. People would be crying.
Yeah.
Well done,
You
sorry.
get to see.
Yeah, no, I don't.
It's really demented.
I don't know. Maybe you do think this way, but I don't see myself
She
as
does
a
think
chaos
that
element
way.
in
She
your
just
life,
said
but
she
I don't
did.
ever see us in a situation where we would get stuck in routine and get bored. Like I feel like
No.
I would figure something out.
No, we're not going to get stuck in routine and get bored because you have itchy feet, more itchy than mine. But you are a chaos element in my life in that I
How does
don't
she
know
know
from
that?
day to day
It's
how you're going to be
a bit
feeling.
strange.
Like in my past
Ooh, this is
relationship, it
bad.
was
Oh, God.
basically the same. Like you know what to expect every single
past
day.
relationship.
Every
Don't
day,
talk
basically
about
the
them.
same. And
Yeah.
you could expect
Never.
the same from me because if I was feeling depressed, I was going to hide that. So, but there's days where you could be happy one day and then the next day you're all introverted. And there's days where I just wake up and I just feel all depressed, like so day to day there's no guarantee that.
Yeah. Well, this guy seems to me to be a morose type of figure himself.
I love how the kids are being so loud when they go to record.
Your kids, what are you gonna do?
Go downstairs.
You cried in your sleep, all my feelings exposed.
That part, there's a taste in my mouth as desperation takes hold, was interesting.
Just said something so good. Yeah, that to me is kind of like maybe he cheated on her, and it's one of those relationships where she'll never address it directly, but her subconscious is going out saying, "You cheating bastard," and all that. Just said something so good, just can't function no more.
Yeah, so maybe they had something good before, but
Oh yeah. That's the thing. It's like they had it, and that's why. I was telling the boys about being faithful and all that. We're talking about marriage in our little Bible time or whatever, and I was talking about my main motivator is that whether or not the girl forgives you, it's something is fundamentally changed that you will never ever get back ever, even if she forgives you. Like it's possible that she's
They've got itchy feet.
yeah.
and it's very it may happen that she forgives you, but the kind of relationship that you had before you did that act is never ever going to return ever.
Thank you, Vin and Sori. Oh, that was harrowing, wasn't it?